Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to this week's edition of Ask Coach Marie. I'm Marie O'Neill, founder of Padma Life Coaching and your host on this series. This is the place where you ask a question and I give my unique opinion as a life renewal coach, astrologer, and past life regression facilitator. Each week on Friday, a new video is released with me answering 2 questions from the viewers. In addition to this, I talk about various other life renewal topics. Please know that I am not a therapist and I will never tell you what you must do. Let's go ahead and get started with the questions for this week. Our first question comes from Jennifer, who is in Bakersfield, California. Jennifer says, what do you do when you think your mate is cheating on you, but there's no proof, and they deny having an affair? That's a really good question. Thank you for sending the question to me. When you suspect someone of having an affair and you have absolutely no proof, that doesn't mean that it's not happening or didn't happen, and it also doesn't mean that it did. What you want to do is, or at least my suggestion is, send out a prayer to whomever you pray to, Allah, God, Jehovah, the Great Mother. What you're asking for is to be shown unequivocally what the truth is. You don't have proof, so you don't know whether the person is actually doing this or not. You have a feeling, and you don't want to discount your feelings either, because there may be something to them. When you send out a prayer, you're asking to be shown the truth, and you're asking to be shown the truth in a way that you can't miss it, that you will see it. You're not going to be dictatorial to the divine and telling the divine, please show me that this person is cheating, please show me that. You're going to ask, please show me the truth of the situation. And not only show me the truth of the situation, show me what is right action for the situation, whatever it is. Sometimes, especially as females, we have instincts and our intuition. Now, our intuition is usually pretty good. But the thing is, in this particular case, just suppose he is talking to someone to buy you a present and he's being secretive about it because he doesn't want you to know. Or it could be something else other than an affair. I mean, it could be a myriad of things that would mimic having an affair. So, as I said, ask the divine to show you what the truth is so that you actually know. Send me an email and let me know how it all turns out. All right. Our topic for today is the out of bounds moon. You might have heard about this, and if you haven't, you're going to not be able to say you've never heard about it before, because I'm going to talk to you about it. The reason that I'm talking to you about it is because it's important. It's something that all of us have to deal with because the moon goes out of bounds periodically. And when the moon is out of bounds, our emotions can be rather different. So let me back up a little bit. The sun has an ecliptic, and meaning its orbit around the different, or the apparent orbit around the different constellations. Now, the other planets that are in the constellations, they're either above that ecliptic or they're below that ecliptic. The ecliptic is 23 degrees, 26 minutes. That is where the sun is on that ecliptic. And what happens is when a planet goes above 23 degrees, 26 minutes, or below, meaning north or south of that ecliptic, it's considered out of bounds. When a planet is out of bounds, it means that it's out of the reach of the sun. It doesn't play by the rules. It doesn't play by the sun's rules because the sun sets the tone or sets the rules for all of us, actually. because the moon is about our emotional body, it's where you're going to be able to think outside the box. You may be able to resolve emotional issues easier. Maybe you'll get insights. You think quite differently. You think in a unique fashion. It's more like the moon responds out of bounds in a similar way as the planet Uranus, the planet of lightning bolts and earthquakes. It has that genius quality. It has that very independent. And with someone who has an out of bounds moon in their birth chart, their emotions, the way they feel about things, what's going to make them feel safe and secure, their emotional body is going to be quite different. I like out of bounds moons because I believe when you're going to resolve an issue, it's very difficult to resolve it when you're in the issue. It's the same to me. If you're thinking in a particular way, it's very difficult to come up with new ideas. If you can get above the issue or above whatever it is you're working on emotionally or intellectually, it's easier to come up with a solution. Well, the out of bounds person, it comes naturally to them. They can be quite ingenious. So check the date of your birth and see where the moon was. It's called the declination, and you can actually Google it. Check the declination of the moon on a particular day. If it's above 23.26, then it was out of bounds. And then you want to Google the meaning of your particular moon to get the meaning of it. It can be in any sign. Well, not any sign. There are some signs that actually don't go out of bounds. It has to do with the solstices and the equinoxes. And so I'm not going to go into that. Just go ahead and check to see if your moon is out of bounds. Also, check during the year. As a matter of fact, right now, as I am recording this, the moon, it's either going out of bounds or it's out of bounds. It goes out of bounds about every 2 to 3 days for a period of, I think it's 10 years, but don't quote me on that. But it does go out of bounds quite frequently when it's in that pattern, with the exception of the signs where it doesn't go out of bounds. There's a period of time of years when it doesn't go out of bounds at all. It's quite fascinating, but I wanted to just bring that up to you so that you can pay attention to it or look out for it or Google it or, just information. So the next question that we have comes from Allison, who is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Allison writes, I'd like to learn more about my past lives. Can you give me some advice on how to do that? Thank you, Allison. That's a good question. Concerning prior lives, you, of course, want to have a reason for doing a past life regression, which is the name of what you would do to learn about your prior lives. There's actually several ways you can learn about your prior lives, but what I like to do is have a past life regression session so that you, as the individual, or me, whoever is having the session, actually sees or gets a feeling or a knowing of the life that they're in, the prior life, and they can learn lessons and get information. You can go to somebody who is psychic to do this. And I don't think mediums do this, but I know that if you go to someone who is psychic, they can give you information on your prior lives. I like past life regression because if I don't see it, I don't believe it. You wouldn't think that would be the case, but it's true. I have to see it myself, or at least feel it myself to know that it actually happened. Nobody can tell me, oh, you lived this prior life and this is what you were or who you were. No, doesn't work for me. But it may work for you, and that's okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. What you want to know, though, with prior lives is your higher mind, that part of you that is the observer, it has an agenda. And it is only going to show you prior lives that are pertinent to this lifetime. Meaning if there is information that you can use from a particular prior life, it will allow you to see that prior life. If you are just doing it for fun, I wouldn't recommend it, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. Your higher mind is still going to show you the prior life or lives that is pertinent. And it's up to you to decipher the messages that you get. Sometimes you can be shown lives that are related to an issue that you're having in this lifetime, which gives you the root cause of whatever it is you're dealing with in this life. And it helps you to resolve that issue. That's actually a really good reason to do a prior life. It's not about going back to see who you were or if you were this famous person, or how many people think that they were Cleopatra or Joan of Arc. I mean, a lot of people. There could only be one. With prior lives, I definitely recommend you find someone who knows past life regression. There's quite a few people out here who are trained in it, and there are schools out here where people are learning to do past lives. So you could always go through one of those schools too and learn to do it. So anyway, I hope that helps you. Thank you for sending in the question. If you have questions for me, please send them to padmacoach@icloud.com. That's padmacoach@icloud.com. Be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that it helps the algorithms and it helps me in return. If you would like to work with me as a life coach, an astrologer, or past life regression facilitator, please email me at marie@padmalifecoaching.com. The link, of course, will be below. I look forward to seeing you next week, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.